If you're confused about technology, there's a nerd you need to see, Beth Z TV.
Hey folks, guess what? Next week is National Procrastination Week. And so I was going to do this presentation. I'm supposed to have already done it, right? Anyway, National Procrastination Week is actually not just about being lazy and putting things off. It's about taking a break from some of the things we put on our plate and taking a breather and understanding how to prioritize. So even though it's National Procrastination Week, we have a lot of things to do. First off, let's talk about ways to help us be more productive, even in National Procrastination Week. These two tools come out ahead every time I ask people are they more productive. It's brain.fm and another one called Focus at Will. Remember that, I forgot which movie it was where they said, shoot at Will. And they're like, I'm not Will. And then, I don't know, it made me laugh once or twice. But anyway, brain.fm and Focus at Will are tools that help you. They say they've got scientific research that helps you understand how music can help you, and different sounds and different wavelengths can help you be more productive. So both of them are in the $60 a year range. Now, Focus at Will, when all of the pandemic hit, which is just about a year ago now when the world started shutting down, when all of it hit, they cut their prices in half. So I bought 3 years worth for half price. But they both have this background noise that is supposed to be scientifically guaranteed to make it so that you can work better. Now, here is a different kind of a hint. How many of y'all have people who game in your house, like play video games and things like that? Well, think about the music they have in the background while they are playing the game. That music is designed to help you be more productive. That's its whole goal, is to help you focus on the game, be in the background, and kind of help keep you going. So you can go to Spotify for free and search for video game soundtracks, and there are people who have put together hours of listening events for video game soundtracks for free. Now, this is another concept to help you stop procrastinating so much. It's called time boxing, and time boxing is a very simple concept for a very advanced technique. Time boxing is when you, instead of doing a task list, a to-do list, which I'll talk about in just a minute, some of the best ones, if instead of doing just a task list, you take each item on the list and immediately put it on a calendar with a time limit. So instead of saying, I'm going to work on the budget, you're going to say, I'm going to work on the budget at 2 o'clock on Tuesday for 1 hour. This plays with your brain all kinds of ways. Number one, when you go into an event, understanding that you have a goal, you are much more likely to hit that goal. Number two, when you go into an event, knowing you have a timeline, you are much more likely to focus and get something done during that timeline. Number three, if you go into an event and you've allocated an hour, you are much more likely to understand how long that task will actually take because you have allocated an hour rather than I'm just going to work on it this morning. And number four, it will put on your calendar a way to focus. You are not going to be scheduling a meeting during that time or putting an errand during that time. You have something on your calendar. So you're much more likely to keep that space for the work you have designated. This is the tool I used when I was writing my book. It's called Plan. And Plan lets you create that task list. And instead of you creating a task list and just trying to work through it, Plan says put every single item on the calendar now. So it plans out your day rather than your day planning you. Again, this is all time boxing. In a survey of the top 100 recommended productivity hacks, a group came out and said Timeboxing came out on top. You don't need technology to do it. You just need a calendar. But if you want some technology, try Plan. Another way to get back time and to help you focus is to automate things. And I talk about this a lot because not enough of us take the time to automate some of those little tasks. Iftitata and Zapier are tools that do that for you. I call Iftitata that because it's if this then that. They say it rhymes with lift, but I like saying Iftitata. And then Zapier, I call it that because the little things, they call them zaps, but to me the word looks like Zapier. So I don't know, I say both. But I have made great strides in productivity by using these things. Iftitata was free, 100%, but they have changed their pricing. So now you get 3 tasks for free and the rest of them upgrade you have to pay for. But imagine if you didn't have to check the weather every single day, or you didn't have to forward every email that comes in from a certain person to a certain person, or if every time somebody tags you in a Facebook post in a picture that you didn't have to go and download that picture. All of that can be done for you. The best example of me using these tools is when my manager went on maternity leave and I took over for her. I realized for the first time that we were putting information into 3 different databases every time we had a new contract. That was ridiculous. It took like 20 minutes to put it in all 3 different places, and then we had to email different people different information to get the ball rolling on every contract. And I do 70 contracts a year or something ridiculous like that. So this was 70 contracts a year times 20 minutes, and there were holes sometimes. So if you got distracted and didn't email everybody at the right time, things would fall through the cracks. So this tool, I use Zapier, see what I mean? Zapier to set up a little automation so that every time a contract is signed inside our contract software, then something was sent to our invoicing software that created a draft invoice, and if it was a new client, created a new client setup. And then it automatically emailed all the people who needed to be told about stuff and the specific stuff they needed to be told about, right? The accounting person needed to know the invoice stuff. The logistics person needed to know the contact information. All these things were done automatically rather than each time. Now it does cost me, I think Zapier cost me a couple $100 a year for that. But again, remember that that's just one task I'm doing to take off about 20 minutes 70 times a year and make things more foolproof than they were before. So worth it for me. Let's talk now about to-do lists. I don't know about you, but I have kind of 2 layers of to-do lists. I have a daily layer, which I actually write on pieces of paper with a pen. And then I have an overall list that I need to keep so I can keep track of bigger projects. These 3 tools are good for both or either. Todoist is one that comes out on top a lot. My former manager loved it, couldn't live without it. Other people I've told about it have built their entire structures in it. And Todoist helps you organize your to-dos. It does what you think a to-do list would do. It creates a list, creates sub-lists, lets you assign it to people. And one of my favorite things is that when you are in email, it will let you create a to-do from the emails. I use Gmail and it's so quick to create a to-do from there. And then it doesn't show you everything that's on your list, just the things that are critical for that time period, so you don't get overwhelmed. Plus, it has a little gamification in it. So if you keep on your tasks and you keep moving up, it gives you karma points, which again is silly. I've talked about this before. Gamification is not something we think we'd fall for, but sometimes it's good to get a reward. And it's just a little bit of extra incentive to help you keep going. Another one that comes up a lot is Anydo. Same kind of concept. Any of these that you use are going to be more helpful than your elaborate sticky note system around your main computer, right? These things are very easy to set up and start using. Now, for those of you who are in Microsoft infrastructure, Microsoft To Do ate one of the most popular apps for task lists that ever was. It was called Wunderlist. It was wonderful, won all kinds of awards, and Microsoft ate it. And then it spit it out as this Microsoft To Do. Microsoft To Do is integrated into the Microsoft system. So very quickly, you can keep your tasks all in one place, especially if you're using Outlook and keeping them all in that world. All right, that's all I have for the regular part of this week. But before we get to the joke of the week, I want to celebrate Pi Day. Yes, indeed. Sunday is Pi Day, where we celebrate all things related to pi, that mathematical figure, concentration, whatever, this mathematical thing that we have all loved for so many years and have never memorized. 3.1415. So on Pi Day, it's important to figure out what pi is, understand it, and play around with it as much as you can. I am going to now turn it over to someone who will amuse you very much, our very special joke of the week. Take it away.
This next dad joke comes from Las Vegas. How many ears does Captain Kirk have? 3. The left ear, the right ear, and the new front ear. You're welcome.
Thank you for listening. This is Beth Z, your nerdy best friend, signing off until next week.